You know that feeling, right? After a huge holiday or maybe a big family wedding, it was amazing. You had the best time, but now you're back to the daily grind and you just feel sluggish, totally exhausted, completely out of sync. It's that classic post-celebration slump. Well, today we're going to break down exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to get your energy right back on track. So let's get into it. So here's what we're going to do. First, we'll talk about the wild energy of celebrations. Then we'll get into the post-holiday crash that follows. After that, it's all about the solutions. We've got expert advice on how to reset your body clock and recover from all that amazing food. And we'll finish up with some key lessons you can use after any big event. Okay, so to really get why we feel so drained, we first have to appreciate the celebration itself. Because during these big events, our normal routines don't just get bent out of shape, they get totally tossed out the window. And there's no better example of this than the traditional Egyptian festivals known as mawlids. Now, a mawlid is not just a party. It's this incredible mix of, well, everything. You've got religious prayers and quiet worship happening right next to loud, bustling markets. There are folk festivals, huge family feasts, dancing, gifts, the whole shebang. It's a non-stop, 24/7 experience that completely takes over your normal life. You know, there's this fantastic Egyptian saying that just nails this vibe perfectly. Kashkasha ma turid hash. It pretty much means keep it brief, don't drag it out. And it captures that fast-paced, everything is happening at once energy of these festivals. There's just no time to slow down, which is incredible while it's happening, but yeah, it definitely takes a toll on you. And that leads us right to the aftermath, the post-Eid slump. After days of this high-energy celebration, our bodies are basically sending out distress signals. And this feeling of total exhaustion really comes down to two big problems: a completely scrambled body clock and a very, very real case of food coma. I mean, just look at the difference. During a time like Ramadan and Eid, life can get flipped completely upside down. You're staying up super late for gatherings, you're eating your main meals at night, and your sleep schedule is, well, it's a mess. All of this throws your body's internal clock, you know, that natural rhythm that tells you when to be awake and when to sleep, completely out of whack. And of course, you can't talk about a celebration without talking about the food. It's not just when we're eating, but what we're eating and how much. All those rich, delicious, heavy dishes that are the star of the show, they're a huge part of why we get that sluggish, I can't move off the couch feeling afterward. In fact, if you really break it down, experts point to these 6 habits as creating the perfect storm for feeling tired. You've got the overeating, sitting around a lot, the messed up sleep, all the sugar from sweets and drinks, not a lot of physical activity, and way too much screen time. Does any of that sound familiar? It's basically the recipe for a post-holiday slump. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. Now for the good stuff. How do we fix it? Let's start by getting that wacky sleep schedule back under control, using some really practical tips from sleep disorder specialists. So here's the thing. You can't just flip a switch and force your body back on schedule. You gotta be gentle with it. The key is to gradually shift your bedtime a little earlier each night. And getting some sunlight first thing in the morning, that is a super powerful signal to your brain that it's time to reset. And yeah, we all know this one, but it's so important. Put the phone away before bed. That blue light is the #1 enemy of good sleep. All right, sleep is one half of the battle. Now for the second part of our recovery mission. It's time to beat the food coma. We need to help our digestive system bounce back from all that glorious, but let's be honest, intense holiday feasting. So what's the plan? Well, nutrition experts say you don't need to go on some crazy diet or a punishing cleanse. It's actually much simpler. Just a few small tweaks can make a massive difference in getting your energy back and just feeling like a normal human again. And the fixes are actually pretty simple. Instead of 3 giant meals, try a few smaller ones so you don't overwhelm your system. Water, of course, is your absolute best friend. It helps with pretty much everything. Taking a short, light walk after you eat does wonders for your digestion. And maybe swap out that second piece of cake for some fruit. You still get the sweetness, but without that big sugar crash. So we've gone from the awesome chaos of a mawlid all the way to some super specific tips for sleep and food. Let's pull it all together now into a simple recovery plan that you can use after any big celebration, whether it's Eid, Thanksgiving, or just a really long weekend. Think of this as your post-holiday toolkit. For sleep, the magic word is gradual. For your diet, just focus on staying hydrated, eating moderately, and making smart swaps.
And for your overall energy levels, just remember that even a little bit of movement is way better than none at all. This isn't about punishing yourself for having a good time. It's about helping your body recover.
And really, that leaves us with this one big question to think about. These celebrations are such important, joyful parts of our lives. They're about community and family and just pure happiness. So the real goal isn't to avoid enjoying ourselves. It's to figure out how we can dive in, embrace the whole spirit of the celebration, but also be just mindful enough to make the recovery on the other side a little bit easier. It's definitely something to think about for your next holiday.